Hi, and welcome to Adventures with Alchemy, where we do tips, tricks, and tastes from around the culinary world. Today, we are going to do one of my personal favorite techniques, or tricks, as you want to call it. It's called milk washing. Milk washing is a type of fat washing. Basically, it's like a type of infusion. With milk washing, what we do is we actually curdle milk in a cocktail, and then we strain it out. And what it does is it leaves a silky smooth flavor. It kind of strips away all the harsh flavors from the cocktail itself, and it just leaves this beautifully smooth, delicious cocktail. Almost so smooth that people tend to think that it doesn't have booze. I mean, it's crazy. I can't tell you how many times I've made this drink and had people tell me it doesn't have enough booze in it, and it's it actually has quite a bit. So we're gonna make a small batch. We're gonna take you through it step by step, and we're gonna start first with our mise en place, okay? So let's get going. We're gonna start with our booze this time. We're gonna do, normally you would do brandy, and some even like to use port. But in this case, I'm gonna do things that just different. Of course, we don't put our own special signature on things. We don't need to be carbon copies after all. So instead of brandy, I'm gonna use pisco from Chile. Pisco is a type of brandy, essentially. It's like, pisco to brandy is like cachaça to agricole rum. You know, they're very, very, very close. It's a spirit distilled from grapes, just like brandy. It is barreled, just like brandy. It's just got a few little tweaks and differences, and if you want more info, do a little research. I can't, this would be a whole other episode if we were to get into that. So, but yes, pisco, Chile. Peru also makes good pisco, by the way. In fact, they invented it. But moving on. Rum. Oh, rum. Most milk punches I've seen either have bourbon or rum in them. This is just a flavorful rum. I like Zaya. I like using high vanilla noted rums because it just adds flavor. This is just a nice, 5-year-old rum from Barbados. You've seen it on previous episodes before. Not this particular bottle, another bottle, same thing. Yeah, it just goes great, and the combination of the two just has all kinds of different flavors to it. Fantastic. So we have our rum, we have our pisco. Then we're gonna have our citrus. We have lemon juice. Remember, fresh squeezed always. Then we have pineapple juice. Now, when we get into the things, you're gonna see the recipe, and I'm gonna show you. We're not using everything you see here. We're just gonna use amounts of it, but you'll see. Milk. Can't have a milk punch without milk. Sugar. Lemon. To be exact, lemon peel. Now, there is a classic way of doing this called by making oleosaccharum. And oleosaccharum is the process of basically taking sugar and rind, rubbing it harshly together or even pressing it together, and then covering it and allowing the sugar to pull the oils out and creating a beautiful syrup naturally. It's called oleosaccharum. We are not going to do that today. We're going to make peels and we're going to add it just with peel sugar and everything. You're going to see. But you'll see, maybe we'll do a separate episode on oleosaccharum because it is very, very interesting. It's something everyone should know about if you're into this kind of nerdy stuff like me. So we have our lemon, we have our sugar. Now we get to our spices. We have a cinnamon stick. Now you want to use a short cinnamon stick if you're doing a small batch. If you're using a big batch, use a couple of cinnamon sticks, but short cinnamon stick. If you have a big one, just, half. We have some grated nutmeg, and we have some cloves. To be exact, we have a 1/4 teaspoon and 4 cloves. So 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and 4 cloves. 1 stick of cinnamon, 4 ounces of sugar. This is fresh brewed black tea. It's English breakfast to be exact, and we're gonna use about 4 ounces of it. And last but not least are our tools. Obviously, you're gonna need a jigger. You're gonna need a peeler. You are really, really gonna need this. You need cheesecloth. I mean, there's no way around it. If you do this with a coffee filter, you are gonna be doing this for days. So get this, okay? Cheesecloth. And of course, a funnel and a strainer. I tend to strain this 2 or 3 times. You want it clear as water, okay? You want to be able to see right through it. So one of these, and of course, with the cheesecloth on top, you'll get a beautiful strain. Okay, so let's move on. So the first thing you want to do is take 3 ounces of milk and separate it from everything else. Now, it's important that you take these 3 ounces of milk and you pour it into the main container that you're going to be doing this in. Why? Because you're gonna pour the actual cocktail. We're gonna make the cocktail on the side and we're gonna pour that into the milk, okay? Just trust me on this. Okay, so we have our milk in a separate container. Let's get started making our cocktail. Remember, always non-alcoholic first so you don't waste booze if you make a mistake. Now, we're gonna start with our tea. 4 ounces of tea. Okay, so we have our 4 ounces of tea. Next, add your spices. So we have our nutmeg, we have our cloves, we have our cinnamon stick, and we have our sugar. Let's make sure we don't make a mess, shall we? So we put our little funnel there and get a little funnel action going on. Next, we're gonna add our lemon peel. Even give it a little twisty twist. You know, just kind of loosen up the oils a little bit. 2 ounces of pineapple juice. 2 ounces of fresh lemon juice. And by the way, just because I didn't say fresh on the pineapple juice, it does not mean it doesn't need to be fresh. Make sure that's fresh too. If there's any kind of juice, fresh. Okay, so we have our lovely mix. Now let's pour some booze in it. It's so important. So, rum. You're just gonna go 4 ounces of rum and 4 ounces of pisco. Okay, so now that you have your whole mixture together, you have essentially your cocktail. We need this to infuse. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can just close this up and you can leave it out and you can let it infuse for a couple of hours. You can put it into a vacuum seal. I personally love the rapid infusion method, so that's what we're gonna do. So make sure you give it a good stir. You wanna make sure that all that sugar is dissolved, okay? When it's good and dissolved and ready, you're ready to infuse, okay? I've talked about this on previous episodes, and I highly suggest that you check it out. If you haven't seen our 5 essential techniques to use with a siphon whip, check it out. It's fun. It's a good one. Again, keep it clean. Pour our good stuff into our siphon whip here. The spices, obviously you can put that in yourself. There's a little bit of sugar in there. And I'm actually gonna get a little bit of water too, just kind of, you know. But for now, let's take that. Yeah, just a little bit of water. I mean, if you really want, take some rum or something, you could do that too, that's fine. Just some kind of, or a little more tea or something. And just give it a little, you know, good mix. We don't want to, you know, we want some fully mixed sugar in there, so make sure it's well shaken, well immersed. And go ahead and just pour that on it. Next, once you have all the goodies inside of your siphon whip container, go ahead and screw the head on. You're only going to need 1 charge for this, 1 charge of nitrogen. Screw that bad boy on. Listen for that beautiful sound. Give it a good shake. And just leave it out. This will be ready in about an hour. I mean, you could literally open this now and the infusion's already starting to happen, but I like to give it time. The longer you give it, the better. Now, this is a rapid infusion, so 30 minutes and this thing is gonna be good to go. I'm gonna give it an hour because again, I want a good, strong infusion. That's gonna give this thing like it's gonna get like a 24-hour infusion in 1 hour. I mean, that's what I love about rapid infusions. Yes, you could put a charger in there, and after you put the charger in there, it'll have an infusion. But again, if you just do that, it's gonna be a very minimal infusion, okay? It's not an instant infusion, it's a rapid infusion, okay? So, I'll see you in an hour. Well, for you, it'll be like, so, it has now been an hour or a second. So we have had it in here infusing. What we're gonna do now is release all the gas, Let it settle and get all the bubbles out. And then we're gonna pour it gently into this milk. Milk is at room temperature. You can heat it up a little bit if you want to. It's not necessary, but you can. Just release all the gas. And just gently press down. Okay. Again, keep it nice and clean. Efficiency is key. And just gently, gently pour that in. As you can see, it's already starting to curdle. As you can see, those bubbles are from the gas. Those bubbles will dissipate. We are going to let this settle because they don't play any role in what's happening next. We are just going to let those settle to the bottom. Okay, so this is what it should look like. I know it's not the prettiest thing, but it will be pretty when it's done. You see all those milk curdles? They're gonna act as a sort of filter. They're literally gonna attach themselves to the color and some of those flavors, the harsh stuff, and it's literally gonna smooth everything out, leaving like a silky smooth essence, if you will. We're gonna give this 24 hours. There is nothing we can do to speed this up. I mean, I guess you could try to, no, you can't. There's no way to do this. 24 hours. Close it. Let it sit in the fridge for 24 hours. Tomorrow, we will strain this out and we will see how cool this looks. All right? See you mañana. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. As you can see, it has cleared up quite a bit. It's no longer foggy. It looks oh so tasty, right? Doesn't that look good? So now we are going to strain it all out. So what we have here is we have a funnel. It's a double funnel. As you can see, one of the funnels has an actual strainer attached to it. And then I'm actually going to put another strainer inside and then some cheesecloth over the top. Okay, we're going to do some serious straining here. And then just slowly but surely start pouring it in. And that's it. From here, you just let it do its job. Don't mess with it, don't touch it, don't do anything. Just let it filter, let it do what it does so it comes out nice and clear. If you start touching and messing with it, you're gonna mess it all up. So be patient, go do something else while you let this do it and keep checking on it so you can just keep adding, okay? See you in a little bit. And this was the end result. It's already finished. You don't need to shake it with ice. You don't need to do anything like that. You don't need to water it down anymore. Just get a nice ice cube, put it in your glass. Rocks glass is fine. And then just pour some milk punch over the top. 50-50 cinnamon and nutmeg. Just over the top like that. Maybe just a little bit more. And there you have it, my friends. Clarified pineapple milk punch. Cheers, my friends. I can't wait to be able to make this for you in person one day. It's really smooth, full of spices and aromatics. Hits you right here, as well as the back. I highly recommend this, guys. Cheers.